the definition of that boss.
But Prince, that also brings me to something. You just raised a different issue totally. Do we really know the manifestos? Are the political parties hinting, because it's not time for campaigning yet, so they may say it's not time for us to unwrap what we have and bring this content out of the envelope? What kind of manifestos should the Nigerian electorate be expecting for the political parties, and therefore being able to align the candidates to the manifestos of those parties? What kind of expectations should Nigeria be having?
You know, manifestos is a strategy. It's what you are going to lose in selling yourself to the public.
But it's a promise as well.
Yeah, yes, of course. But from how many years now? In the past, from up, more than 2 decades now, many people will contest election on the political party, and they will not know the. And this is one of the problems we are having in Nigeria as a nation. You can ask anybody. Also, they're supposed to be telling people, this our manifesto, this one. That's what they're supposed to tell people first. If I'm a national party of a chairman, and you are coming to my party, I say, this is our this is our manifestos. This is what we believe. This is our manifestos. This is what we believe. This is
what we stand for.
What we stand for. Then, during the campaign, then it start to
break those things down,
telling it to the people. But then we have hazardly tell people during the campaign, this is our manifesto, without
the candidates being knowing or being convinced that they can deliver on those
manifestos.
Okay, Prince, that is our expectations from the political parties. But this conversation this morning is being rooted in the subnationals. And I'll tell you why I want to root this conversation in the subnationals. The president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has on more than 10 occasions said that his government is generating more revenue than any other government in recent history. And that's his statement has been supported by virtually every other state governor in this country by admitting that they are getting much more money than they have ever gotten before. Every time you and I and some of our other colleagues sit down to do analysis of the outcome of governance and all that, we seem to focus our attention on the federal government. Whereas if you look at the quantum of money going to now to the states governments ought also be held to account. Now, a number of the state governments will be having their this is their last tenure. This is after May of next year, they are gone and gone for good. But some of them want to continue. Is it not time we began asking questions? If you want to continue, tell us what we accomplished. Since you are getting much more money, show us, as Igbo say, show us your hand. Is it not time?
Yeah. Let me just digress a little bit.
Yes.
I met one American during the Buhari regime. He told me that in the United States, some people do not know the name of their president. All they know is that they vote for party and their county chairman and their governor. They don't mean they know. They don't know any other person. But first of all, let me use the medium to thank President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for giving governors more money for those who are working with the money, and less job for those governors who believe in frivolities. You see, it is painful at times. Uh,
Yes, please.
Let me start from Cross River, Governor Utu. There's a program he called Kick Out Hunger and Bamboo Something Initiative. He brought Chinese people. And this bamboo initiative of Governor Utu can give Nigerians more than 10 million jobs when they finish this thing. And the population of Joes looking for jobs in Cross River may not be up to 500,000. So I commend Governor Utu for that one. And the president should help him more, help Governor Utu on that. You go to Adamawa.
Okay.
Adamawa State. Governor Fintiri, he built one model school in each of the local government. 5 flyovers, international shopping complex with a conference center. That one is still ongoing. A lot of projects going there. You go to what they call it, Oshu State. There was a time the president, no, not the president, the federal government is I don't know whether they finished their court case with the governor.
Yes.
And
that's over local government revenue.
And the federal government blocked
allocation
going to Oshu local government. But it does not stop the governor, the dancing governor. It didn't stop him from working. Adeleke is working without that, that
allocation to local government.
And when he's having some problem, he called his elder brother, Davido's dad. He also called Davido. They brought in money for him to start handling a local government fund. I am from Southeast. Let me say that, because instead of calling myself from Southeast, because if you want to know the real people from Southeast, it starts from Benue, Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Rivers. Some of our Igbos brothers, they're in Benue. We have 13 indigenous people of.
Let's leave that.
Okay, let's leave that. So we know it's happening in other states. Go to Abia State, for instance. Some people come and say, Tinubu is giving LSOT money. He's giving LSOT money. He's giving Abia State money. My question to them is Tinubu giving LSOT money from his pocket? Is it not the same allocation he's giving to the 36 state governors? Is it not the same thing they are giving them? Is it not the same money that Wike is receiving in the center? Wike is performing very well in Abuja. Is it not from the same source, federal government, that said the LSOT is this thing out of envy? My God, I'm not a fan of LSOT, but as an Igbo man, I'm proud of LSOT. How can a LSOT? He just celebrated under 2 years of his being a governor. He did what three governors could not do in 24 years. Under 2 years, that time. Now, under 3 years, now he just celebrated 3 years. His record showed that he commissioned 414 roads. When we are busy doing our sala here, going to our Muslim eating and doing merriment, LSOT was commissioning project in Abia State. Okay, we can't. Abia State is about former trade government, they are owing about $190-something billion. Google it, you will see it. LSOT reduced it to 42. He cleared $140-something billion from the Abia State debt. And what they call them, debt management. Yes. They recommended the LSOT.
Can you hold your peace there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because why I say you hold your peace, you have raised something that should be an integral part of this conversation. You know that the issue we're addressing now is holding the state governments to account. Now, we began that conversation by taking up statements made by the president himself that the federal government is giving more money to the states. And the state government themselves admitting that they're getting much more money than at any time in the history of this country. You are trying to give me examples of states that are performing. But permit me, I'm going to give you the list of the 10 most indebted states in Nigeria. And I ask you whether it is not a contradiction. Lagos state government is owing 2.65 trillion naira in debt. These statistics are from the Debt Management Office. Kaduna is owing 1.03 trillion. Rivers State government is owing 641.29 billion. Edo, 596.9 billion. Ogu, 491.28 billion. Cross River, 455.34 billion. Bauchi, 407.83 billion. Enugu, 355.35 billion. Delta, 291.95 billion. And Imo, 262.64 billion. These are the 10 most indebted states in Nigeria. Now, I cannot measure development statistically like this. If the level of indebtedness is to be measured against the amount of money you have borrowed, Lagos State should be the most developed, followed by Kaduna, followed by Rivers, followed by Edo, Ogu, Cross River, in that order till get to Imo. These 10 most indebted states in the country are supposed to be the most developed because they have borrowed so much money in addition to all the monies given to them by the state government. Now it is time of reckoning. Elections are coming. Should we be asking questions? This is your level of indebtedness. Can you weigh it against the level of development? Prince, I decided to go through these statistics to enable you now begin to raise questions or answer questions as to what the state governors will be telling us now, why they performed or did not perform, why they will ask for re-election or not.
So thank you also for this information that you brought in now. Indebted state. Let's use the Abia State as our as our example of a state developing without loan.
Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. Because you are citing Abia State,
yes,
as developing, but
yes.
Abia State is not one of these indebted states.
It's
so where is the money of this?
Yes. So, excuse me. Everything depends on the behavior of your governor. Everything depends on the governor. Governors and the local government, Tinubu will not be there forever. Because I thank Tinubu for creating a local government autonomy and making sure that he's pumping money to the state and local government. Tinubu even went to Supreme Court. He don't do it with executive order. He went to Supreme Court and he got judgment for the state government. Are they seeing the money? I want to ask them questions, not today. Tomorrow.
The time of
reckoning is coming. Time of reckoning is coming. That's what I'm using electricity as an example. Where is he getting the money? It's not from the same federal government allocation. Do you know this route? As I said, let me know say, development wise, as I said, was dead before electricity came in. Development wise, because electricity came, he brought, he resumed like Europa and the Sambakwe, the development site. Resume it and start working. Go to a new local government. So a man, electricity, even if he doesn't do anything, he did 200 primary health care centers. It's kind of to Abia State. The old one, he modernized them. He built new ones with a modern lab, reducing reduce the traffic to the general hospital and the other hospital and private hospital. Because if you are having a a minor headache in my village.
No, you don't need to go.
I don't have to go to what they call it.
Any reference hospital.
Yeah, but he made that's easy, and people are they're happy with that. Apart from that, he's building like last time during the time of during his third term.
Third year anniversary.
He laid a foundation sort of a hospital in Bend. He's building one in ENUGU. He's building many, and at the same time, if you go to Arochukwu General Hospital, half of the hospital, we occupied half of the hospital. He's modernizing all those things. Where is he getting the money? Go to Aba. Aba was the dirty capital of Nigeria. See what he did in Aba. Investors are coming to Aba. Now they're manufacturing tire in Aba. Many companies, a man spent $100 billion to raise the food processing industry in Aba. Bring it to people in Aba. People now, and let's notice, as I'm talking to you now, the airport, because the former governor, let me not, he said that he collected 10 billion naira for airport. But people who are making jest of him say that he built it for witches and wizards. That's why Elizabeth cannot see the airport. But Elizabeth is building airport now. Now, there are feasibility study going on how it's going to be Obaku port. Where is Elizabeth getting the money? That's my question. It's not from the same governors. A governor can come now. And do you know one good thing about ENUGU? Apart from giving them that SS fund, they are giving all good things. When governors did federal government road in their state, federal government refund them. So you see some governors, they have been flying private jet, their wife is flying private jet. If the wife want to do her, the wife will use private jet, go to Abuja and do private and go to their state. Some of the governors in Nigeria, they live in private jet more than sitting in the office. And they're asking me what are they doing with the money. They're using the money for frivolities. Maybe when they share the money to some people, they'll be shouting. No? How can a governor, a state in Nigeria receive averagely, some of them, about 50 billion every 8 years.
Much more than that.
No, that's your average. But a governor cannot cite a project of a project of 50,000 naira in a local government. It can't build even what they call it, culvert or public toilet. What do you do with the state government money? No, local government money. They have answered for all this question, no. And let's hope it's opening our eyes. Fintil is opening our eyes. People like Governor Otu, they're opening our eyes. Adeleke, I tell you what happened in Adeleke, you know. How can a governor? Because a governor is tying a road that costs 3-4 local governments. Federal government roads that will collect the money, and it will sing hallelujah that I think there's a president that passed through your state. No, local government money is for local government, not for state governors, not for their wives. How can excuse me? At times, I like using LSOT as a yasi. LSOT don't spend. He stay in Niger State. It doesn't move out. It hasn't moved out. If you come to Abuja, the next day you go back. The same thing as some governors. How can a governor be living in Abuja and they are governing your state? When they are stealing, you will not know. When at times they will bring a paper for you to sign, and they will go put you be licensed in Abuja, and you call yourself a governor.
Now, Prince, you know that this conversation is also supposed to help the electorate make decision. This conversation is supposed to help us begin to create pegs for the governors, for the electorate. Because very soon there will be billboards everywhere. Some governors want to come back. Very soon there will be billboards everywhere. Some governors who have completed their tenure would want to go to the Senate. And it is a candidate becomes attractive to the electorate when the electorate is satisfied with his president. When he was governor, how did he perform? What did he do? How accountable was he? And therefore, why can I trust him with the Senate responsibility, with the Senate seat? Now, the Nigerian voter who has not seen any improvement in the hospitals since Governor A began his governorship. The Nigerian voter who has not seen any improvements in schools and educational facilities since Governor A came to power. The voter who has not seen any improvements in the roads, the urban areas that do not even have water. I'm talking of things that are within the control of the state government. How should the electorate be reacting to their candidature if they begin to rear their heads and say, I want to go to the Senate or I want a second term? What should the electorate be saying to them now? Because we're saying the day of reckoning is coming.
Yeah. Yeah. First of all, any sitting governor that doesn't perform have no business going for a second time. Any governor who did not perform have no business going to Senate. What do I mean to Senate? As a governor, you have the money to develop the whole state. But you use the money in flying private jets. Now you want to come to state to come and do what in the Senate? To come and be hiding in the Senate? Nigeria, please, I'm begging you, if your governor did not perform, don't let him to come to the Senate. Now, as a governor, you will not. You didn't see him. You can't hold him. You know when you come to Abuja, you come and hold. You come and hold him responsible for what? Hold him for a development. Good development. You don't want him to do for you again. And again, where we are going to put eyes in Nigeria now is the governors that want to plant a person who will replace them.
We'll come to that. That is very critical. We'll come to that. This is Signature Morning, and we're reaching you from Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. Break. You're welcome back. My guest is still in the studio, Prince Elias Odemena. Prince Elias Odemena is publisher of Head News magazine and is a public affairs analyst, taking a lot of interest in governance and the outcome of governance. Prince, you were talking to the electorate. A governor who did not perform cannot suddenly learn how to perform when he comes to the Senate. A governor who did not perform in the first 4 years cannot suddenly discover himself in the next 4 years that he wants to ask for. So the electorate, you are talking to them. Please continue.
Yeah, well, as I said before, if you are a governor and you are not doing anything, and you think that when you come to Abuja, you make your central district to be a Paris in Africa. No. Some of them are coming to Abuja to be resting, sleeping in the National Assembly. They don't have. What do they know? How do they know? Some of them are governors. They don't know their left and their right. They don't know their left and their right. Do you know? The problem we are having is that people always muzzle power. When you muzzle power, you make everybody in the state to be apprehensive in some state, like if I'm from some allegedly, that was my son, somebody told me, allegedly if you are from state, if you talk against what government is not doing, or he said government is not doing this thing, tomorrow the governor will let, will tag you a member of IPOB. Tomorrow the governor will tag you as a member of ECL. The people who are so apprehensive in the southeast Igbo land, that where some governors, they feel free and do whatever they like, because nobody will talk to them. But as I told you, the day of reckoning is coming. It cannot be governor for more than 8 years. Even if you are governor for 16 years, that 16 years will elapse one day.
Now, Prince, I have a challenge personally. And can I share my challenge with you?
Go ahead, sir.
These governors who did not perform, about whom we are speaking now, still find their ways to picking tickets for the political parties. And the political parties will tell you they have an influence because the political parties want to win election. So, with their influence, they become prized in their political parties because they are most likely win election. Can we now please have a conversation on how these governors and how these non-performing politicians win the election? Let me cite one or two examples. Very soon you will start seeing printed cloth with their names and their pictures on them. And women whose own dresses have torn and have been patching and managing in the past 2 years or 3 years or 4 years of that governor's tenure will suddenly get 3, 4, 5 pieces of cloth to wear. And suddenly, people will start getting empowerment, envelopes of 10,000, 5,000. And suddenly, the electorate will start seeing these same people coming to the market square to shake hands with traders and all that, and then sitting down to join the akra fryer, or the person selling palm wine, or the person selling hura de nunu, sit down to buy and eat and drink with them. And the electorate tends to forget the non-performance of the past 4 or 5 years. So what do you say to the electorate? Because you see it play out.
Everything is crystal clear. In Nigeria, governors any other option than to wait for you during the campaign. So you mentioned like clothes, some will give bag of rice, they will spend the state money, governor this bag of rice, for this rice, for this salt, and they will share it to electorate. My brother, we have enough land in Nigeria. If you are a governor, that money they are going to use in buying of rice to share to people. Why not use that money to cultivate rice, to have rice farm, agriculture farming, animal husbandry? We can use that money. So electricity now. I don't see electricity. People are doing campaigning, shouting their head. Electricity is busy commissioning projects. It's not campaigning, and it's not campaign. That was one day, as the president of, as the convener of Igbo Union, if electricity governor of Abia said, that means that the Igbos are so ungrateful. The least he can score is 85. We can accept it. We said it before. If he scored 80%, you're not going to be governor of Abia State.
Okay, Prince, I'm going to take you on now frontally. You, because you mentioned something, you are the convener of
Igbo Union.
Igbo Union.
Nzukọ Ndị Igbo.
Can I tell you also what these politicians will do and what they do? Because you are the convener, and because you hold these meetings all over the country and sometimes out of the country, speaking, trying to organize Igbo people where they are, they see you as a point of influence. And Prince, they want to reach the mass of people following you, and they come in the evening and say, Prince Elias, we need to, we need to, I just manage this 500 million. Because I'm telling you what happens. What should people like you therefore be doing? Because you become the vehicle for convincing those who have been impoverished to vote for the person who impoverished them.
Yeah, thank you for this point. Before Governor Soludo started demolition part of Onitsha market, I was in your sister station, Arise Television, and I told him that if you are breaking that market, you are not an emperor. You are a governor. Before you start to do what you want to do, please make sure that you have alternative place for the people of
those traders,
those other Ochanja market, or all those markets. Not Ochanja. I think it's Ochanja. That's the market. I told them, look for a place where the traders can stay before you start, or want to build a new market. Do you know that after that interview, somebody from Onitsha come and said they want to honor me in Onitsha? I told him, no. I did it free of charge. I did it as an Igbo man. It's just a news clip, news interview. The people of Arise Television, they invited me. They didn't charge me money. So why should I use money? Why should I be collecting money from the people of or the traders from Onitsha? Oh, they want to give me something. They are happy with what I said, defending them. Well, because they short the market because of sit at home at Monday, yes, because of Nnamdi Kanu. That's why the people say they will not go. And I talk extensively, like, but not what we are going to them. They should listen Nnamdi Kanu so that something will start, so that all those things will stop. That's what I'm doing now. But let's come back to what
yeah, because the point I was trying to, the point I made was that people like you become the point for getting those who are impoverished by those in power to get your followers to then vote them back into power.
That's why we are saying that now any governor who refuses to perform, don't accept him, don't accept all his lineup, all his candidates. They'll have candidates. Some of them will have they want a person who will come and cover their shame. When you are there for 8 years, if you don't do anything. Then one governor from Southeast, he said in the office, a month to the time he's going to hand over, he was crying that, God, can you give me 2 months ago? It's like, even if they give you 6 months, you cannot perform. So people should stop all these cultural groups. Please, this is the time, you people, because after the free sharing rights, after that turn, people start suffering again. Don't vote anybody that that is doesn't have their goodwill in their mind. Let me tell you something. In Igbo Union, we want to honor this woman. They say, why can't we honor her husband? Akpabio. Because it's Akpabio. We want to honor his wife. Because Akpabio, as a governor, he started road from Akwa Ibom to Arochukwu. There's a bridge they call Nkana Bridge. I think about 500 meters. Akpabio did it. Showing the relationship between the old Southeasterners. Akpabio today, that's not what we are doing, but I have to digress more. Akpabio today, he's former chief of staff at an Igbo man. He's one serving as an Igbo man. He built church in his in ENUGU, roads in ENUGU. So Igbo Union said to honor his wife because of what he's doing to us. And this is a challenge to our daughters that married influential men. So always tell them, please, this is where I am from. We don't have roads in our place. We don't have this. We don't have that. So they can do it. Not that when a flesher man married you, you forget your source. Because there's an adage that said that any river that forgets its source will dry up. So politicians, I'm begging what they call it. I'm begging the electorate. I'm begging cultural groups.
Okay.
Please don't accept anything from politicians. Do this and do this. This that. How can a governor be saying he stay 8 years, he didn't do anything? When you want to go out, you plant your in-law, your son-in-law. They can't work in the southeast. They can't work in the southeast. There was allegedly a governor from southeast who wanted to plant a young man sleeping with his daughter to be a governor. But the people rejected the son-in-law.
Oh, okay, no, wait. There's a difference, Prince. Let us be both courteous and civil with our language.
It is sleeping with your wife can be your in-law. Let us
call the person his in-law.
Yes,
he does not somebody sleeping with his daughter. No.
Okay, I know too.
Please.
But let us sleep with your daughter.
Please.
Okay. I will do that. I will do that.
But I'm an elder.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir, I will do that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now we are discussing.
I know you said now. Please let us be serious.
Yes. Let us. We have been focusing on the governors.
Yes, sir.
In assessing the failure or success of the subnationals and what the electorate should be doing with them. Now, can we begin to look at the local governments? We raised something here this morning, and that is you thanked the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for working to give financial autonomy to local governments. The expectation from ordinary Nigerians, therefore, is that the local governments should be given more development at the local level. But for goodness sake, that's not what is happening. Even though the president contradicted himself, and I must say that publicly, because after obtaining that Supreme Court judgment that gave financial autonomy to the local governments, the president told the governors when they visited him in Ikoyi that he was not taking away their local government from them. That was contradiction. But let's assume that the judicial pronouncement is the bottom line, is the ultimate position. Why is it that the local government chairmen seem to be just lapdogs sitting attached to the governors as masters? What should the electorate be telling them? Because some of them also want to return for second term, or some of them want to go for higher positions, political positions. Is it not time also to begin to say, let's begin to hold them to account?
Yeah. That's where we went to last time. They said that to whom much is
given.
No, they said during our NUJ press week in Transcorp.
Yes.
They said to whom much is expected, much is
what should be
to whom much is expected,
much should be given.
Not the other way we also. So these governors, they are the problem of Nigeria. You are talking about holding
the local government chairman
accountable. How can you hold local government accountable when they handpick all those local governments? Some of them are attacked. Some local governments are attacked. It's only in Niger State here you see a local government chairman who has a doctorate degree, who is a doctor, who is this and who is that. So local governments are attacked. And governor brought them. This is, at the end of the day, allegedly, I'm not here. You said that you received 500 million.
And you sign.
And you sign. At the end of the day, when chiefs are down, that must be right for
of course.
Local government chairman, and let me warn you, you are going to account for the money you are collecting. Go to Niger State. They have social development something, I don't know what they call it. That's why Lesotho is working in all the local governments in Abia State. All the local Lesotho is working in all the local governments in Abia State. Project. So you will not see one single
naira
naira
from their own allocation.
Yes, from one single convert. But go to Lesotho, building hospitals, roads, schools.
Prince, let us not make it a Lesotho program.
No, we
have used so many instances to say. But let us.
Yes, people should be emulating that man, that short man. That short man they call a Lesotho. People should be emulating him. He's tall at surface, but a giant at heart.
Yeah, but the issue that I want you to address is what should we be telling? Is it okay? You said that a number of those local government chairmen may end up in jail because they have now received Supreme Court backing to be financially autonomous. If they are there and they are signing documents that incriminate them as having received what they did not receive, the day of reckoning is coming.
Yes.
And if they end up in Kuje or Kirikiri, that is surely their own business.
Yes.
But the electorate is my interest this morning. Some of those local government chairmen may want to go to higher political positions. If they are so lily-livered as not to protect the authority, autonomy given to them by the judiciary, should they go any further?
No. Local government chairmen, as I said before, governors have handpicked them. But where you're going to hold them, in case some of them that are educated, that want to go to House of Assembly, they want to go to House of Rep, even some of them would like to go to the House of Senate, it depends. Electorate will ask them, you are local government chairman for 3 years, 4 years. What did you do to us? What did you do for us? What did you brought to us? Electorate should reject them. And not only local government chairman, electorate should reject senators, House of Rep members, House of Assembly members who want to come back again, or who want to go and do other things. Electorate should reject them. I believe so. They should reject them. You see, in Nigeria, governors feel that. You see, a governor now, you be a governor. When they want to select your commissioner, you select by yourself. But when president want to select minister, you want him to consult with you before president can select a minister for your state. And yes, minister. And those governors, they overbearing, they over-assessing themselves. They are giving themselves the power they don't have. But we are waiting for them. That's why some of them, after being a governor, they want to go and be Senate president because they cannot mix with people, so that the immunity will be covering them. A governor, after being a governor, they want to go and be a Senate president. No. Akpado is not my friend. By the grace of God, if Tinubu comes back to power, let Akpado remain there. Maybe not, but if any other person comes, if they want to choose Akpado, I'll be happy because Akpado is our in-law. He's doing a lot. He's doing a lot for us in Igbo.
Praise. Now, there is an institution that ought to be holding the state governments and the state governor to account and prevent the governor from the excessive use of his executive powers, the state legislature. You just said now that it is the state governor that most of the time handpick those who become local government chairmen. You also said here that the state governors wrestle the money allocated to local governments to do whatever they want with it. If the state governors are acting this way, what of the state legislature? The state legislature is supposed to check the excesses of the governors. It is either they are complicit or they are incompetent. If they are complicit, what should the electorate, if my phone was here, I could have shown you videos of some legislators who want to return to power across the country. And I sit down and ask myself that if these people are not able to check the excesses of the governor and they want to go back to power, what do they go back there to do? So, those of them who want to even return to the state legislature, who have not been able to perform and check the governors, should they go back there?
You say they are either
complicit
or
incompetent.
They are both. They are both. The dictators are both. You ask me why? Okay, some governments will come to power now. When they come to power now, the opposition party, they have something like 9 members in the House of Assembly. You know what they will do? They'll go and buy. They'll go and buy them. When they bought them over, then his party will have majority in the House of Assembly.
Prince, did you hear the language he used? And that is the language I want you to address. They buy them over. In other words, those legislators have put themselves up for sale.
They are now slaves to the governor. I'm coming, sir. They are not slaves to the governor. I said, if a governor come to power now, some of them, what they will look, how many, he said 9 members, 10 members of opposition party, maybe 3 from third, and 2 from 1, you bought them over. When they bought them over, they are now his slave. Then, there always be a contest who will be the speaker, who will be house leader, deputy speaker. The governor will go and choose. He will choose for them. And use money also. That's the end of that legislators. That's what they call rubber stamp. The House of Assembly will be permanently the rubber stamp
for the governor. Prince, wait. Because my producer. Okay, go ahead.
Some of them. A speaker of House of Assembly. If you want to meet his wife, you can take permission from the governor. I'm telling you. He's caged. He's caged. Go ahead, sir.
Now, my producer says I don't have more than 2 minutes.
Yes,
in all this conversation we have had this morning, let's look at the takeaways. Governors who have not performed, who want to return, electorate should reject them. That's what you said.
Yes, reject them. Reject them.
Governors who have not performed, who want to go to the Senate, the electorate should dump them.
Yes.
But I said to you, the political parties consider them as people of influence, and the parties want to win election. Riding on the back of incompetence or corruption to win election. How good is that?
Yes. Because most of the governors are not working. They will carry the whole money. They use that money to buy votes. That's why some of them, their political party are giving them tickets. But this time, people are awake. I am appealing to the electorate. When a former governor, a senator, former senator, a sitting governor, when they bring money to you to vote for them, collect it and don't vote for them. That money is your money.
Okay, that money is your money. That's what Prince is saying. In the last election, we are told, collect the money, is your money. But it's a bit difficult in a very moralistic society like ours. How can I collect this man's money? But Prince says, it is not there.
It is your money, not the governor's money.
Your money, not the governor's money. Well, I don't know whether they should even collect it at all.
No,
because sometimes it's good to tell the truth right in the face of the criminal. But that's your position. In the past 1 hour, I've been conversing with Prince Elias Odemina. He's the convener of Igbo Union. but this morning he came in his capacity as publisher and public affairs analyst. We've looked at the day of reckoning as political activities pick up. We looked at what the performance records of the governors are. Some of them are exiting now because they have completed their tenure. Some of them are asking for a re-election. The question is, have they justified re-election? Have they justified being given another opportunity at a different level of our governance structure? His one regular line is, either failed, don't give them a second chance. Don't give them a second chance, because the leopard does not change its spot. Friends, I want to thank you for finding time to join us this morning.
Thank you, sir. And thank you for having me again.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
My name is Wabos and Joker. Of course, the name never changes. I want to thank you for investing your time with us this morning. Please have a great day. Bye-bye.
Tired of the snow? Tired of the bad TV signals? Nigeria has gone digital. Introducing Free TV, the national platform for every Nigerian. Get 100 plus channels immediately. Sports, news, and entertainment in your native language, all with clear picture quality. Whether you're in the city or the village, our satellite signal reaches every corner of 36 states from day one. No monthly subscription, just a compatible decoder and you are set. It's a national asset built for you. Take the show on the road, download the Free TV app and stream your favorite channels anywhere. Starting this May, scan to download the app or call 0700 388 7277. Free TV, digital TV for free. Brought to you by NBC.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking, events occur, and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your pocket.
I don't believe God gave me the money I have.
God is not responsible for his success in life. These were the tweets from Danny Walter that sent shockwaves across Nigerian Twitter last year.
When it comes to success and money, money is man-made. It has nothing to do with God. If you want to pray to God, pray for good health, pray for things you can't control. But when it comes to money, it has to be your effort.
So I sit down with Danny Walter and ask him, is this not a money misrule situation when somebody makes more money and the person thinks they have all the answers? He says no. He says these were things he was already thinking about. Until 2020.
In 2020, a friend of mine who was also an influencer, he was accused of rape. So I went and put out a tweet that this is somebody I know. He would never do something like that. And because I was the bigger influencer, people left him and faced me.
you, right? You were a rape apologist.
I was a rape apologist and all that. So I just started getting calls from my agents and they've terminated your deal. Google terminated your deal. Picnic terminated your deal. Johnny Walker terminated. MTN terminated. After everything, it was actually false and he was exonerated. But I had lost everything.
For almost a year, he couldn't feed. And then he stumbled upon cryptocurrency and allied technologies.
And within a year, I started making a lot of money. More money than, even the influencer deals were giving me.
Even before that, he drove his small Toyota Corolla, he says.
I went to House on the Rock one day and I was still driving a Corolla then.
Okay.
I was supposed to park somewhere. They said, no, you can't park there. That's in front of the church. I was like, why can't I park there? I came early. They said, no, you have to go to the back. In the same minutes, I was in the Benz and Range Rover. They were directing them back in the front. I was like, what's going on here? Yeah. And I felt so intimidated. Right. Like, why are you sending me to the back because of my car? Yeah. And it just hit me like, what these people are doing here is not working for me. I just turned around and left. And that was the last time I ever went to a church.
Wow. He tells me also why he took down his podcast.
There's been so much back and forth about the podcast and all that. How it seems like I'm attacking God. For like almost a year, it kind of like just was creating distance between me and my dad.
I asked him about the concept of an overnight success, which he says he was. And if he's afraid that he's going to lose all this wealth one day.
I fear losing everything because I've put out an image that is already a very high standard.
And towards the end, I asked him about my dear friend, Toke Makinwa, and the thing he said about her and politicians on Twitter.
If I ever meet Toke, I would apologize to it. Fantastic. Because it's one of the stray bullets I was talking about. Yes. That tweet wasn't supposed to be about her.
All of this against the backdrop of his new book, one of the most thoughtful, wise, honest books from Nigeria I've read in a while.
After the applause, the book is basically saying there's pressure after success. There's pressure for public people. There's pressure for everyone. What I just want you to know that you're not the only one going through it.
The portrait of Danny Walter that comes out of this interview is one that will surprise you pleasantly, even as he insists that he's still a troublemaker, because Nigerians need some troublemaking. Danny Walter with Today.
Come for me.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to tell you the story of how I found out about you. Because I'm not on social media.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what's happening. So sometimes when I don't know somebody, it's not because the person's work, I'm just not aware.
Yeah.
But I spend a lot of time on YouTube. So I saw your podcast. This is when I thought, this is fantastic. I'm a Christian, I'm a born-again Christian, I go to church, I pay my tithes, all of that. But that is a fantastic conversation. So I started sending it to people around me. I said, who is this guy? Oh, this is such a great podcast. And they said, don't mind. One of them said, don't mind him. He's attacking God on social media. And so it is a bet. Somebody bet, he did a bet. Somebody said, like, you did a bet and said, you're going to do a podcast about it. And he has plenty of money, so he just said to go and do a podcast. This is how, and I said, well, I don't know his backstory, but what I'm watching is great. I think that these questions need to be asked and these conversations need to be had.
Yeah.
So that is your podcast. I think it was last year or 2 years ago.
It was last year.
Last year. my book is coming out at the end of the year. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, there's certain podcasts I want to go and talk about my book on. So I go back to YouTube. I can't find this podcast. So I called somebody and said, what happened? They said, he must have taken it down. So that history is to lead to the first question. Why did you take the podcast down?
Okay.
Before we now ask all the other questions.
Yeah. I come from a very, very religious family.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
It's mainly because of my family. There's been so much back and forth about the podcast and all that, how it seems like I'm attacking God, but that's not the aim of the podcast. You know, for like almost a year, it kind of like just was creating distance between me and my dad. So I was like, you know what? It's not what the back and forth, because when I started it, like you said, it was somehow like a dare, not like a bet.
Okay.
So a video went viral.
Right.
It was this girl, Papaya.
Right.
We were together and she was recording me. I was talking about God and all. She was like, do you believe in God? I say yes, but I don't believe God gave me the money I have. You know, that kind of conversation on social media.
Yes, Nigerians can't have it.
Oh my God. So when it hit Twitter, I don't know, someone recorded it from a snap and posted it on Twitter.
Oh, so it wasn't even originally on Twitter?
No, it wasn't originally on Twitter. It was on Papaya's snap. It went viral and people was like, who is this person speaking against God, blah, 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 blah. I give you 2 months, you're going to lose all your money. This will happen to you. If you fall sick, you die. So I was like, when I was saying it didn't seem this deep, but how everyone is taking it, it seems it's deep. Okay, I'm now going to go deeper into it.
Right.
So I'm going to start a podcast.
Yeah.
There was no time podcast was in my agenda.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
It wasn't part of my plan. I'm already a very busy person.
Yeah.
So because of that backlash on social media, I was like, I'm going to start a podcast and talk more about what I think about religion and God and all that. And so that is how I started.
Yeah.
And I did up to like 7 episodes.
Yes, I watched all.
And after each episode, my dad would call.
Right.
My mom will call, please now stop. You're giving your dad high
blood
BP.
pressure.
So after a while, and you know, he was also getting so much pressure too from the church. Why you talk to your son? Why is your son attacking the church and all that? So because of him, I was like, you know what? Let me just take it down.
Right, that makes sense. But the thing you said in the video, even though you've taken it down, you still believe that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still,
Yeah.
I still very much believe that. I feel like when it comes to success and money, money is man-made. It has nothing to do with God.
Right.
If you want to pray to God, pray for good health, pray for things you can't control, pray for protection, peace and all that. But when it comes to money, it has to be your effort.
Right.
Whatever you put in is what you get out. If you sit at home all day and you want to attend midnight prayers and vigils and get money, that's not realistic.
You used to be a strong member. You know, when that happened, people began to excavate. You'll be a strong member of House on the Rock.
House on the Rock, yeah.
Just
They
to go
brought
to-
out a picture of me.
You now replied and said, see how I was slim when I was in House on the Rock. Do you still go to House on the Rock?
No, I stopped going to church.
So you don't go to church
I
anymore?
don't go to church anymore.
So it's not like one thing happened. It's just your mind had been thinking these things.
Yeah,
And
but there was the final straw.
Okay.
I went to House on the Rock one day and I was still driving a Corolla then.
Okay.
And when I came in, I was supposed to park somewhere. They said, no, you can't park there. That's in front of the church. I was like, why can't I park there? I came early. They said, no, you have to go to the back because of the car. In the same minutes, I was seeing Benz coming and they were directing them. Parking. I was seeing the Benz and Range Rover. They were directing them parking the front. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
That was the first time I was experiencing it, and I felt so intimidated.
Right.
Like, why are you sending me to the back because of my car?
Yeah.
And it just hit me like, what these people are doing here is not working for me. I just turned around and
left.
And that was the last time I ever went to a church.
Wow.
Church, ever. I stopped going to church.
Right. If Pastor Paul met you today and said, if you are being unfair, what would you say to him?
How am I being unfair? They were being unfair to me.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably, I don't know if he knows about the
Of course,
incident.
it's not about him.
But then again, he's not the first church that would do that.
Yes.
We've heard about it on social media.
Right.
I feel like if they do not correct that, they might lose people.
More people, yeah.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
So if Paul meets me now and talks to me, I'll never still come back to the church.
Right.
That ship has sailed.
So the ship of church has sailed.
It has sailed.
When did you realize that you had succeeded as an influencer, or that you were doing this was succeeding?
I think 2020. In 2020, I was on almost every gig on X.
Right.
Because I should be like top 3 then on X. I was on almost every day. I was working with YouTube, working with Pick.me, like all the big brands. So I was making a lot of money at that age, and that was doing my NYC.
Right.
I just went to service, and I was already making a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I had gotten myself a small car, the Corolla I was driving, and I was doing very well at my age. And
So that's when it hit you.
Yeah.
You said you told my producers that in 2020 you lost brand deals because of you didn't mind your business. What happened?
This is a very crazy story. It was in 2020 actually.
Yeah.
And it was like at the peak of my career as an influencer. And I lost a lot of deals at the same time, like 24 hours. I lost all my brand deals, like you said, because I didn't mind my business.
What did you do?
Okay, in 2020, a friend of mine who was also an influencer, it was a night like this, and we just started getting notifications. Your friend is being dragged on X. I was like, what happened? Then went and saw that he was accused of rape.
Right.
And that was the period where rape was a no-go. So I was like, I called him, what's going on? He said he has no idea, that he would never do something like that. And I know him very well that he would never do something like that. So I went and put out the tweet that this is somebody I know. He would never do something like that. And because I was the bigger influencer, people left him and faced
you, right.
And started attacking me and started tagging all the brands I worked with, that I was supporting someone,
Right, you were a rape apologist.
that I was a rape apologist and all that. And you know how brand deals work. Brands don't like any stain on their image. So I just started getting calls from my agents, and they've terminated your deal. Google terminated your deal. Pick.me terminated your deal. Almost every one of them, especially the bigger brands, Johnny Walker terminated, MTN terminated. I just sat like this. I called my brother and told him. He was like, why didn't you just mind your business? I said, I didn't know it would go like this.
Yeah.
I thought I was just standing up for my friend, but I didn't even know it was even that bad.
Right.
You get? And in hindsight, I feel like jumping to his defense wasn't the right call.
Right.
Because no matter how much you know someone, you don't know how far they can go.
Right.
I'm not saying that he did it, but I think I should have given it like maybe 2 days and, looked at all the facts and all that. After everything, it was actually false and he was exonerated. But I had lost everything. That was not coming back.
Yeah.
So it just sort of hit me like, this my business that I did not mind made me just lose everything, and it was crazy. But it was also the point that shifted my life and changed my life, and also made me a very, very successful person.
How so? What happened?
So after I lost all the brand deals, no other brand was giving me deal. I had to look for somewhere else to make money because I was spending money and new money wasn't coming out. When you're a successful person or when you're a famous person, people would not give you the grace that you've lost your brand deals. Nobody cares. You have to show up at red carpet.
Yeah.
You have to make new clothes.
Yeah.
You have to make new posts. And those things cost a lot of money. If you're not getting new income and you're spending that much, you would go broke in a year.
Right.
And that was what was happening to me. I was spending and not getting new money, trying to even keep up the image that I was already losing.
And it took up to a year.
It was up to a year.
Wow.
And I just decided, okay, I need to look for something that can give me money externally, away from external influence. And I started learning cryptocurrency and Web3 and trading and all that. And within a year, I started making a lot of money, more money than, even the influencer deals were giving me. So after a year, I started coming back and I changed my car. I got a Benz and all that. Some of the brands now started coming back. Okay, yeah, the matter has died down. But I was like, I don't work with brands anymore.
Right.
I don't accept
Brand
deals again, especially from Nigeria brands.
Right.
I told them personally, I do not accept, and I would not accept because I'm already making enough money, more than even most influencers do. So there's no point.
Yeah.
So
That turned out to be a blessing then.
yeah,
A big blessing,
it
actually.
did. But when it was happening, it wasn't funny.
Yes, yes. So something changed between 2021 and 2024.
Yeah.
Your life changed dramatically. Do you understand? What does having money that you could not have imagined having before, what does it do to a person? Because you know some of the cars I have seen on your page, and it comes from disposable income, apparently. You know, what does having that kind of money do? Because one of the criticisms people said is because he has made money. Do you understand? It's because he doesn't have sense anymore because he now has money. That's what happens when the person becomes too arrogant because they've seen money they've never seen before. That's why people should not have money because, you know, all of those things.
Yeah.
What happens to a person when they make the kind of money they couldn't even have imagined? What happened to you?
I feel like what money does is it doesn't change you, just brings out the inner you, the you that poverty was hiding. So like I said, everything, including religion, is something that has always been
In your head.
in my head.
Yeah.
It didn't start after I got money, but it just made me more confident now that I can say it without any brand dropping me. It's not like I just started thinking about it.
Yeah.
So that's what money does to you. It just brings out the inner you.
Yeah.
It doesn't really change you.
It doesn't change. So this was always you.
This
You
was
just didn't have
always
the
me.
courage to be yourself because you thought you had to be a certain way to succeed.
Yes.
Yeah. Why do you show your cars though? Why do you show all these things? People say it's money misroad, it's novel. Why?
If you're coming from poverty, and I didn't come from a very rich background, if you're coming from poverty, you feel the need to show people that, look, I've left this level.
So you admit that.
Yes. That's what most black people do.
Yes. Even though they don't say it, but that's what they're
that's
doing.
what we do.
Right.
Because everyone who knew you already knows, this is the son of the akara seller. You have to tell people that I'm no longer the child of the akara seller now. I now
my
own
own
this.
man.
And the only way you can say this is by the things you acquire.
Yeah,
Like, look, I'm able to buy a car of, over 200 million.
Yeah.
I'm no longer in this level.
Yeah.
I'm now somewhere here.
Yeah.
It also gives you a good positioning with social media, with brands, and your influence too. People now understand that, okay, I can't bring a certain deal to this person with this kind of money.
Yeah.
So it sort
It's a
of helps
positioning
you.
tool. Why did you write this book? Because if the people like tradition, you've gotten into trouble for speaking your mind before, they don't want to learn, why did you write the book? It's called After the Applause.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a small book, but it's a really wise book. Really, really wise book.
After the Applause is basically a honest reflection. When I said I was putting out a book, I know most people would have thought, hey, he's putting out how to make money,
Yes.
how to go from 0 to 100. But I said for my first book, let's handle the difficult conversations first. Let's go deeper into the things people are thinking but do not want to say.
Right.
Things you want to say but find it very difficult to say.
Right.
Let me put it out in a book and see if there are people that can also connect to me. And the response I've been getting have been very amazing.
Right.
It's like I'm speaking for a lot of people. I'm speaking for everybody.
Yeah.
So that's mainly why I wrote it.
Right. Somebody said on social media, I think, that, you are rebranding. That's why you wrote the book. Is that the case? That you want to present a new version of Danny Walter, a gentler, more thoughtful version. Or, like you said, a version of you that has already existed, but you think people have not been seeing it.
Yes.
Is that true?
I feel like it's a version of me that people don't see, that
Yeah.
I want them to see.
Yeah.
So if you read after the applause, you realize that, okay, this person is gentle.
Yeah.
No part of the book is attacking anyone. Even when I spoke about pastors, I was speaking for pastors because I had lived with one.
Right.
I was speaking for pastors, not against them.
Right,
So
right.
the book is basically saying there's pressure after success. There's pressure for public people. There's pressure for everyone. What I just want you to know that you are not the only one going through it. You're just not loud about it. Every other person is going through it, but they're also quiet too. The rest of us are quiet too and enjoying whatever we're enjoying.
Yeah.
But this book is telling you that I understand, you can see it, and you're not alone, and you can get through it too.
Right. Speaking of something you mentioned, you spoke about 2022.
Yeah.
You lost a lot of money when there was a crypto crash.
Oh yeah.
What happened?
Bitcoin crashed in 2022,
Right.
and I was trading with a lot of money,
Right.
almost $500,000 at a time,
Right.
and I lost it in one night. So, so it was very crazy.
Sorry, let's rewind. You were trading with over $500,000 and you lost it in one night.
And I lost it in one night. That was. I feel like that's the craziest experience of my life.
Yes.
Because I was numb for like 1 hour. I just sat down like, what just happened?
So how did you come out of that?
I just continued what I did. Then Bitcoin recovered in 2023.
Right.
So it sort of just gave me more to stand with, and I continued trading. And
So you just kept moving.
I just kept moving.
Yeah.
I fear losing everything because I've put out an image that is already a very high standard.
Yeah.
And also there's so many bets on my head.
That's what I was going to ask.
This
you.
person went
They are
against
waiting.
God.
Yes.
This is why he lost his money.
Yeah.
If I had made that post on social media that I lost this amount of money, they say, I talk him.
God has punished you.
I talk him. God don't catch him.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it's a very valid fear. And
So how do you keep living your life as openly and honestly as you do, even with that fear?
I mean, there's not much I can do aside just continue living. So what I do now is I try not to post a lot of my wins again. The last time I posted a win, I think was 2023.
Right.
So if I get a new house now, I don't post it.
Right.
If I buy a new car now, I no longer post it.
Right.
If I, open up a business that social media doesn't need to know, I don't share.
Right.
So I just keep going. So there's no pressure to keep up with that. In case I lose that or I have to sell one car to guide for a
Yes,
while,
yes.
social media will not ask, where is that car you bought?
Yeah.
So I no longer post my wins again.
Right.
You already know that this person has money to an extent.
Yeah.
That's enough.
That's enough. Before my final question, just a troublesome question. You came to look for my friend's trouble.
Who?
Toke Makinwa. First of all, have they sued you to court?
Oh my God.
Do you feel like it was unfair to just drag her name into a larger point?
I think it was. I feel like if I ever meet Toke, I would apologize to it.
Fantastic.
Because it's one of the stray bullets I was talking about.
Yes.
That tweet wasn't supposed to be about her. But social media made it about her, and I understand how she would see it. What happened that period was she was supposed to go to Dubai with, I think, some influencers and all that.
Yeah.
And all the headlines were using Toke Makinwa and other people, Toke Makinwa. So when I wanted to make reference to that event, I used Toke Makinwa and other people too. So it now felt like I was going after Toke Makinwa, and that wasn't the case.
Right.
But I understand how that would look, and if I ever meet her, I'll definitely apologize for it.
Right, so you apologize for it?
Yes, I
Yes,
definitely
you apologize.
will.
When I was looking at your handle, I'm like, this is the danger of social media because it amplifies a particular thing, and then people don't see the rest of the thoughtfulness, the rest of the nuance, the rest of the, all of that. For a lot of people who saw you as a flamethrower, do you think you will ever be able to change that perception, or do you care that you'll be able to change it?
I think you can change every perception. I think people just need to see more of me that they haven't seen.
Right.
When that stuff happened with Toke Makinwa, a lot of mutual friends had to call, like, why would you do that? And I explained that that's not what I meant. It's not what I meant. Until, Toke had to quote me and say she was so and all that.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a perception I can change over time.
Right.
It's going to take a lot of time because the damage has already been done.
Yeah.
But I can.
You can. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All the best and congrats on the book.
Thank you very much.
Right.
At independence in 1960, Nigeria was a nation of the same British colonial governance experience. The new nation was, however, not uniform on the path of its regions to that British governance experience. In effect, the three regions of the East, West, and North had different cultural and historical outlooks, which made them suspicious neighbors. They also had a differing expectation from their Nigerian nation, and this influenced their reasons for engaging in the nation's political process. In this situation of mutual suspicion and differing expectations, conflicts became a natural outcome of political contests. This was the objective condition that warranted the entry of the military into Nigerian politics in 1966, which rather than resolve the mutual suspicion worsened matters. The disparate interests became more pronounced, and the irreconcilable interest brought the nation on its knees with a 30-month-long civil war. With its entry into political leadership and a 30-month civil war, the military put on a toga of national salvation and created reason to want to perpetuate itself in political leadership. To allow the quarrelsome politicians to return to power was to return the nation to unending political feud and retard its progress, the military insisted. This was the situation from 1985 to 1993, when the military could not accept to exit from political power. In this period, usurper military president General Ibrahim Babangida made promise after promise to return Nigeria to democratic governance. He reneged in each promise. In fact, it seemed like the military was determined to reshape Nigerian politics in a way that it produced the national political leadership perpetually. Every mobster makes a mistake that brings him before the judge. Babangida made the mistake of organizing elections in yet another pretended move to return the country to democratic governance. He formed two political parties, the National Republican Convention, NRC, whose ideology was conservative and capitalist, and the Social Democratic Party, SDP, with leaning to the left. Under these two political parties, elections were conducted into almost all tiers of government: local government, state assemblies, governorship, and national assembly. Many believed that indeed the military was about to keep its word and reclaim its honor. Unfortunately, the biggest political prize, the presidential election, which could produce a symbol of control and return to full democracy, was aborted by the same military. That election, which was conducted by the National Electoral Commission, NECO, under the leadership of Professor Humphrey, became the underbelly of a recalcitrant Nigerian military. First, Professor Humphrey Wonsu introduced the Option A4 election model, by which the voters queued behind candidates of their choice, eliminating any contention about the figures scored by each candidate. It also addressed the challenge of vote buying. Both the contestants and the military could not find reason to query the outcome of the election. Yet, while the results, which were already public knowledge, were being announced, the military aborted it, giving all manner of excuses which the military itself did not believe.
Undoubtedly, credible, free and fair elections were held on June 12, 1993. However, the tragic irony of history remains that the administration that devised a near-perfect electoral system and conducted those near-perfect elections could not complete the process. That accident of history is most regrettable. As the leader of the military administration, I accept full responsibility for all decisions taken under my watch.
Chief Moshood Abiola, whose victory at the election has been even accepted by his opponent, was beside himself. After almost a year of fruitless pleading, cajoling, and negotiation with the military leadership, Abiola, in what is now known as an Epetedo declaration, announced himself as duly elected president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Nigeria, and asked Nigerians to rise against a usurper military.
No one has accused me of any offense against any known electoral law or regulation. The people of this country went to polls on Saturday, June 12, 1993, and without let or hindrance chose me as their president. Didn't they?
He was arrested, detained, and died in detention under circumstances which the Nigerian establishment has remained timid and unwilling to confront and disclose. The confusion that followed Abiola's arrest and detention brought Nigerians to the brink. It was only resolved by the equally unexplained sudden death of General Sani Abacha, who had seized power after General Babangida stepped aside. Babangida had created a contraption called Interim National Government, which many termed a stopgap measure, waiting for his return in civilian clothes. He never did, because at the death of Abacha, General Abdulsalami Abubakar handed power to a democratically elected government. In 2018, General Muhammadu Buhari, who became an elected president, admitted that indeed Abiola won the June 12, 1993 presidential election, and in his honor and to keep issues around the June 12 election and the mistake of his annulment, declared the day June 12 Nigeria's Democracy Day and a national holiday.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Muse, a program on Signature TV where we think and talk. We have solely designed this program to get us to think and talk about few issues concerning our nation, Nigeria. Some people will say, is it only Nigeria that are concerned with issues? No. Every country of the world have their issues, and broadcasters in those countries talk about issues of those countries, because nobody will talk about your problem more than, or for you, more than you can talk about it. So you can understand why we have chosen a few issues about Nigeria, because in Nigerian parlance, they say Nigerian wahala no dey finish. So we only choose few our brain can carry to muse about that, think and talk about it. So you are free to approach Nigerian issues the way you want, if you want, talk and think about it. But here we chose to think and talk about Nigeria issues. So welcome, my name is Christian Chibuzo Maduka, your chief muser, and they put that cap on my head. I hope it's not too much for me to bear. So you're welcome. On today's muse, we have a few things we want to think and talk about. Like I said, there are so many issues, but we have decided to pick few, the ones we can carry. We can. The first one is about the political party primary elections in Nigeria have come and gone. They've all come and gone, from APC, ADC, NDC, APGA, NPP, PRP, SDP, AAA. They've all had their primary elections, and they've all elected people who will go and represent them at the polls come 2027 elections. That is one. Now, whether those parties have released the result of those primaries, that is another story. Now, the credibility and how those elections were conducted for those candidates yet to be announced to emerge becomes another, the third issue. Then the fourth issue about it is that INEC, that's Independent National Electoral Commission, has just announced that all the party primaries conducted after, did they say May 30th, or was it 31st, remained null and void and of no effect, as the lawyers we always say. So we have a few things to talk about the party primary elections that have just come and gone in Nigeria. Everything that have come and gone in Nigeria always have stories lined up to follow it. One of it is how credible. When the parties are conducting their own elections by themselves without INEC this time, but they still have to rig themselves into positions they all control. So you can imagine, Nigerian politicians, they are stuck with one disease called rigging.
who will cure them of this remains another issue which we cannot handle today. I'm not a medical doctor, not a psychologist, nor anybody who has that skill of curing people who have decided that they cannot do anything right except to rig it. So what do we tell them? In my dialect, that's in Igbo, I'm proudly Igbo, and I've known nobody, no apology. There's an adage that says, Onya na-agwa ibi ọ na-eto afọ. When you are curing politicians of rigging and they are going into defection and consensus and all that kind of thing, that means to get them fully cured of that madness will take time. But we ask ourselves, who are we going to blame this time? Because if INEC was involved in organization of primaries, the whole would be agog with INEC. INEC said this, INEC did this, INEC. But the parties were allowed to conduct their own primaries. And what we found, the way the thing was being counted, even some senior, very high Nigerian political officials will stand in line, stand in the queue with the poster of their candidates. They held it, and you will find people counting loudly, being recorded on a visual video they shared to the world. 100, 1 million, 3 million, 5 million. And I must ask myself, are they not ashamed? Do they ever remember tomorrow that this digital thing in digital world of today, that this thing will remain forever? So they are perpetuating the culture of rigging, even in primaries. So who are we going to say did this to us? But to talk about it, if the big goat is eating the fodder, the small ones will be watching the mouth. In my language, there is this leaf that is always, it's a climber type of leaf. We call it abara. Abara. If abara touch you as a kid while you are, playing in the nearby bush, you will take your grandmother years of thinking, deploying her herbal knowledge to cure you of the scratching that go with abara. So when you see the big goat or the mother goat eating abara with skill and caution, the small goats or the baby goats will be watching. So do we say that as Nigerian politicians, are they small or big? Watching, who are they watching to learn how to rig, even in party primaries? But one thing remains clear. There's no how, nothing you will do for your girlfriend's son to call you Papa. It has shown us that there's nothing we do for Nigerian politicians to cure them of rigging. So it's either who at maths is the other in rigging. So some party returned their candidate with 10 million. You don't actually. Some returned with 6 million. While their portals, you visit their portals and you check the number of registered voters at their main party membership, they are not up to 2 million. And that's Nigeria for you. So Nigeria, where did we learn? Where did we learn this kind of deception, lies, cheating as part of politics in Nigeria? They will ask them, he said, like one old Anambra politician will always tell you, no, politics, whatever that means. Whatever you ask a politician to explain why they will justify these satanical issues they bring into our Nigerian political system, they will tell you it's all about politics. But politics, the same way politics is played in other nations of the world. If that's how politics is played in other nations of the world, well, we say good luck. But if not, we only advise Nigerian politicians to begin to retrace their steps, because they say whatever in time saves 9. Let's look for the black goat when the day is still on. When that night comes, it will be difficult to locate black goat because everything will become black. What did is anybody hearing me? Am I speaking? Well, that's it on that. Let's look at the next issue we think about, we think we can. So if you think there are other things you muse in your corner, if there are issues about Nigeria, just muse. But keep, all those BP drugs and all those enhancers to help you when your brain can't carry some of them, because to tell you the truth, Nigeria is on a path that only God can save us. Because everybody is trying to outsmart each other with negativities and all. And it's our job as broadcasters to talk about it. So if you think we are talking too much, it means you are doing too much. Let's balance up. If you do moderately, we talk moderately. But when you hit the roof with your actions and you think you can muffle us not to talk, then it becomes an issue which UN court will determine. Determine when you talk about the media suppression, the journalists gagging and all that, he will come and explain again. Of course, gagging is going on, but depends on how we gag. Well, the next item on the program is online pharmaceutical products that have become endangering the lives of Nigerians. Hey, online products tagged as, if you open the Facebook, you will see those ones. This one cure glaucoma. This one got cataract. This one will make you to be like a man. This one will make you to perform for 1 hour. This one will cure you malaria. This one will stop you from having BP. This one, wow. Product, what the Igbos call Ogonoya, has taken over the social media, online, everywhere. Even when you are in a group of WhatsApp groups, they have find a way of coming in there. You go to Instagram, before you listen to one image, go to YouTube. YouTube, every 1 second, they are coming with adverts. Some of them, that's one, they will tell you how to regain all your strength you have lost. But there's one that it brings a very funny idea to my head. Those ones they call sex enhancers. And they find a 90-year-old man, when he hears that this one will make you to feel strong, he will be smile, his face will beam with blessedness. You find him, doing online and trying to order products. At 90, after living your life to 90 as a man, you still want to, those ones that online marketers will tell you, once you take this, you feel 18. Once you do this, you take this. When you do this, but then, my father told me, when you are talking about fly, following a man, think about also the man who has the wound that attracts the flies. Nigeria medical system is part of what we are talking about that has become suspicious. It has become suspicious because the doctors have all jackpot to foreign countries. The remaining ones are the consultant and aged ones who cannot manage their age with their performance and skills abroad. So, and they become very scarce, few of them to get. Before you get them, some of them are in teaching hospitals in Nigeria, but they are managing their old clinics, which still draw a lot of attention. So, at their age, to manage their work of employed labor in Nigeria medical system and their own private clinics, which pays them more, like what Nigerians can pay them. You can know what that is. All the nurses, to become a nurse in Nigeria now is the hottest thing. To even get admission, some people pay back door, 12 million to get their daughters to study nursing because they're already sure that when they finish, before that one reach year 3, it's already arrangement on how to jackpot has been sealed. National Association of Resident Doctors has threatened again they will go on strike. And nobody has said anything. They will threaten and threaten until they go on strike. Before our vice president will call them back. And he has called them back, to my knowledge, almost 4 times. And they postponed or suspended or postponed the planned strike. If they go again, hospitals will be without resident doctor. That is the few public hospitals that have semblance of workers working there. So if you blame people who look out for their welfare, medical welfare, or health welfare online, and now when it's online, nobody's advising you, is the voice of the online marketers who have well packaged with AI enhanced skills They will package product that sounds like once you touch it, you're in paradise. And people are swooping on them, and a lot of people are being defrauded, because some of them you order, you won't get. Some of them, when you order, it comes, you pay and get what is, because person who delivers and you pay disappears. You don't have further contacts to them and all. Only God can save us. But what am I talking about? Look at the screen. Online pharmaceutical product that is endangering the lives of Nigerians. Where is the Ministry of Health, the federal, the state? We even have councillors at the local government levels in charge of health. Where are the CSO, the civil society organizations? Why is nobody talking about it? We have a lot of things threatening the life of Nigerians, which I say so many times in different platforms. We have hardship and hunger. We have a high cost of surviving in Nigeria. We buy PMS at an average of 1,800 naira, depending on your location. That's an average. NNPC will tell you the price, but when you go to buy from my own village, it have over 300 naira margin with what NNPC say they sell in Abuja and Lagos. That's where there is important to them. Now we have a high cost of rent for whole houses. A lot of people have left the cities and they've gone to their villages to die. Some of them have gotten there, they didn't get to their villages because of bad road and all several things, and insecurity. Immediately they drop. Those who are in the village who are part of insecurity, we arrange for these new arrivals to pay the price, and then the first 1 week, they have, either if you survive, first 1 week of leaving the city because you can't survive there in your village, which one am I going to talk? According to my neighbor, Nigeria, wahala, Okpo, according to my Yoruba friend. But then the problem is, can we, because that the soup is so sweet, and bite our fingers off while we are eating and licking our fingers of the sweet soup? Do we, because there's hardship and hunger in Nigeria, give up our life to the men of online virtual marketers of sex enhancers and other health products? Now do I ask you, Onabonya Kochimbo Obenaya Ozabez or Dimegu, you have not eaten well enough and you want to go and buy sex enhancers and other online pharmaceutical products. That's how one of my friends described those as they say, one thing about sex enhancers, he said, according to him, according to my friend, I will tell you who. He says your system will pack while your John Thomas will still be functioning. You know what that means? That means you have died and your John Thomas is still functioning. That means you go to the lowest level of hell when you get there to answer about how did you go to the gate of heaven. They ask you, boy, what did bring you here? You say it's sex enhancer. You saw online and you ordered and you took it on empty stomach because you're Nigerian, and then you find yourself here. They will say, welcome, and they will show you the deepest part. I'm not passing judgment. Of course, I am not this Michael at the gate of heaven who has the fiery sword, who will welcome you and then show you. But this is a very serious issue. The federal ministry, if these are part of reasons why we feel that this is high time we begin to find a way of regulating this wilderness of information they call the social media, the online, the digital technology. Everything in life comes with its, the good and bad and the ugly. The next story we have here, I'm being reminded, is the issue of insecurity in Nigeria and the recruitment of forest guards instead of state police. And then the question has come up in today's newspaper headlines. One newspaper was saying, where are the forest guards? Where are the forest guards? Where are the forest guards? You know, my father told me that once in the morning you have rain fall twice, you celebrate, you have your breakfast twice, because you know those early morning rain, when it falls, you want to go back to bed. When you wake up, you won't even know it's already 12 midday. You have to go and take another breakfast, because the day will be dull. Because of the issue of insecurity in Nigeria, Nigerians have decided to leave guarding the roads to have guards for the forest. And the government, the federal government, even with the last issue, insecurity issue that occurred in Oyo town, in Oyo state, has ordered that 1,000 forest guards be employed immediately and deployed into the bushes in southwest Nigeria. I don't know whether it's Oyo alone, but that's massive. But when you say, where are the ones already recruited? From the location I'm talking about, and somebody will say they are in the bush now, you don't see them on the road. But if they really exist, once in a while, either you wake up, you find them going into the bush, or once in a while, if you are coming back late, you find them either, because they will work on shift now, some people going to replace those in the bush, or are they ubiquitous? Are they like you don't see them? Are they invisible? So that's the question. And if they are visible and they really exist, why are we having rising cases of being a mass abduction of people being taken into the bush? So which of the bushes are the forest guards guarding? Did they have selected VIP bushes they guard? Or is it that there are some bushes in Nigeria that we have not had enough forest guards to reach? Because if there are no forest guards or we do not have enough of them, it's now a high time that the government is thinking about fashioning out or streamlining out the templates to roll out state police. We should also be thinking about more recruitment to beef up forest guards, because the Nigerian security issue needs all the security apparatuses to join together to face it, because one person know they carry heavy load. According to my in-laws, this Nigerian security issue has become Oshika. One person can't carry it. So we need more forest guards. We need state police. We need more employment in this police force. We need enhanced a large budget to encourage this, to sustain this, because once the game runs bad run, the hunter will take a very strategic shoot at the animal. The issue of insecurity in Nigeria has come to a point where the government has to shoot at that running animal, bad shoot, whichever thing we have. My father told me you have to use both the gun that has bullet and the one that does not have bullet to retrieve the captives from the enemy line. That's what we need to do now. This is not time to keep drawing and doing lengthy talks. Like my friend said, Nigerians, we can speak Oyibo too much and things will spoil until it has no redemption. So why don't we begin to speak little Oyibo and do more action? Because the thing is becoming alarming. Increase, the rascality, the violence, the things that the inhumanity against the thing involved in it is something you can describe, and nobody can wish his enemy or her enemy to be involved in that kind of situation. So where are the forest guards? That's the question we're asking. Once we see them, we also, because here when we muse about issues, once you see positive things, we praise and clap for it. We are asking, where are the forest guards? If they are not there, they should beef up their numbers. There's one funny thing they say, talking about the drop-off of the primary election. They said, the trade that you are into, you will know everything, all the things that when it's best time to import and export, to manage and damage. You are managing directors and damaging directors in Nigerian business scene. So, but this particular issue I'm going to talk about is secret locations in Abuja, Federal Capital Territory, where presidential ambitions are negotiated before convention day. Wow. Nigerians are wonderful, creative people. Once they see any loophole, they create big event and activity around it. So we even have that if you get into the market, for instance, you say, where can I buy okrika? And we say, go to Overall. When you get to Overall, cross your left, move on. The next line or lane is okrika lane. Bendam Boutique. Hey, you know that Bendam Boutique, they call it Bendam Boutique in my old school days, you know. Don't worry, I'm not stigmatizing. Don't worry, this one I wear now from Bendam Boutique, I pick up. Who know they pick from Bendam Boutique these days when you look at Nigerian situation? So let's talk about the issue. The issue is that people already know when you get into Abuja, people will meet you at the airport and say, okay, are you interested to contest for presidency? He said, yes. I said, come. Well, where we take you so that you negotiate how much you have, how much you are willing to exchange hands with, and then they will now make your presidential ambition a reality. Who did this to Nigeria? There's nothing person. There's nothing this me, I don't go here forget to ask Getiman. If you don't forget, there's nothing you don't go here. So me at a day gate, there's nothing I know they hear. I day gate now. I know the gate I day here. Here you see me. When you want to address, you call me GM. So GM is gate man. I there at the gate. And I am seeing, hearing so many things. That there's a place in Abuja, Federal Capital Territory of Federal Republic of Nigeria, where if you have presidential ambition, you arrive at Abuja and you make moves and people will take you to a location where all that is talked about there is how we can make your presidential ambition a reality. Wow. What? What is this Abuja? A lot of things lie within it, according to the videos. You know, it's only when you listen, you pay attention, and they will talk to you. They can't talk to anybody who is because the ocean cannot drown a man who he doesn't see his legs. And if you are looking for, you will find. If you seek, you will find. If you knock, it will open. If you ask, it will give it unto you. That is the Synoptic Gospel of Mark and Matthew and Luke, in those chapters. I remember in Mark, it's about Mark chapter 7 or 7:14, or as the case may be. I'm not a good let me not bring out myself, but I know my name is Christian and I live my faith by name, so don't go that way. What am I saying? So presidential ambitions are negotiated. You don't just wake up and say you want to be a president of Nigeria and you walk. You have to go where you sit down and say, oh boy, let's talk about it so that we will help you. My Professor Yov Kerry of blessed memory, he told me, he said, nothing works in Nigeria unless you help it along. And it is true. So even a common ambition to be Nigerian president, some people will have to go where they help it along to package it and tell you, even within your party, they will tell you negotiate. People who are the negotiators. Like you have negotiators between us and bandits and terrorists. When you want to be Nigerian president in your own house after discussing with your wife, you come out, somebody will take you to places where they will tell you, okay, how ready you are. We can help you secure presidential flag bearer position in your party. No wonder my first story on this edition of the program has shown that we are where we are. If you are listening to Signature TV, you always hear, we are where we are. We have not shifted because corruption runs in our bones and marrow. And when OKK is talking about Okafor's corruption, he will be loud. But when it comes to OKK zone, he will keep quiet. Nigerians are fantastically corrupt. And coming from our former colonial masters when they were introducing Nigerian officials to the Queen some time ago. And that was the last official introduction Nigeria received before the Queen died. Nobody has tried to clean up that, especially in the UK. So we remain as you are as good as your guys say you are. Our boss, the UK, one senior official of UK government described Nigeria and said they are fantastically corrupt. God help us. Are we cost? Are we the cost? Then some people will say, not my portion, I'm not fantastically corrupt. And I whoop corruption now. Can you go and take your bath and corruption that is in you as a Nigerian will go? If you think you are not corrupt, when come out, we do census. Corrupt Nigerians stay this way. the uncorrupt Nigerians stay this way, you'll be surprised at what the result will be. Let me not be judgmental, but I know that most people you see in small, small positions want to explore, dispose things in a corrupt manner to keep their positions. Well, the last story we have here is very encouraging. You know, when bad things are happening, some people, if it's favoring them, will want to keep quiet and now. But I think the issue of insecurity in Nigeria has gotten to a point where that old machete doesn't know who is holding it because both the front and back of the knife is sharp. Even you person holding it, if you don't take care, it will cut off your nose or your ear the way you handle it. Though insecurity in Nigeria has become very old machete, that rusty one that both the front and back is sharp.
Signature TV News.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Global News on Signature TV. I am Christopher Lele. In the headlines, Tinubu warns bandits to surrender now or face full force of the state. Federal government schedules 4 additional flights to evacuate Nigerians from South Africa. South Korea court sentences ex-president Yoon to 30-year jail term over drone incursion. And Trump cancels scheduled bombings against Iran. Details in a moment.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking. Events occur and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your pocket.
President Bola Tinubu has warned bandits, kidnappers, and sponsors of terrorism in the country to repent and surrender or face the full force of the law. In a Nationwide Democracy Day broadcast message on Friday, the president said the window for surrender and repentance would not remain open indefinitely and that no mercy will be shown to those who trade in the blood of Nigerians. Tinubu, however, cautioned Nigerians against politicizing insecurity, attaching criminality to any ethnic group, or pointing fingers. He commended the armed forces, police and intelligence agencies for their sacrifices in safeguarding the nation, while thanking traditional rulers, religious leaders, and community heads for supporting peace and reconciliation efforts. The president expressed confidence that Nigeria would ultimately overcome its security challenges and emerge stronger. He urged Nigerians to reject pessimism, division, cynicism, and despair while embracing unity, hope, confidence, and embrace a shared vision of progress. In the same vein, the president has also urged Nigerians to continue holding his administration accountable, but warned them against losing faith in the nation and its institutions. In the Democracy Day message on Friday, the president said disagreements with those in power should not translate into cynicism about Nigeria's future. He told members of the National Assembly, the judiciary, the media, and civil society organizations to see themselves as the guardrails of the Republic, whose role in questioning authority and defending democratic principles remains indispensable. Tinubu insisted that rather than seek unquestioning loyalty, democracy thrives on scrutiny and robust public discourse, provided citizens remain committed to the Nigerian project. He also urged stakeholders, including INEC, security agencies, and all parties to ensure that the forthcoming elections in Ekiti and Osun states are peaceful and credible. President Bola Tinubu has announced national honors for some Nigerians who played significant roles in the country's pro-democracy struggle, particularly around the June 12 political crisis. In the list released by the presidency, the awardees include lawyers, journalists, activists, intellectuals, and military officers who made sacrifices that helped to shape Nigeria's return to civilian governance. Among those honored are late human rights activist and politician Dr. Joe Oke Odumakin, Barrister Ayoka Lawani, Tunde Fagbenle, Oladele Alake, Olatunji Bello, Louis Odion, Segun Babatope, and Sam Omaseye. Others are Chief Ayo Opadokun, Chief Ralph Obiora, Dr. Arthur Wanko, and Ben Charles Obi, Ose Osayande, Barrister Osa Director, Professor Sylvester Odion Akene, Dr. Osage Obayuwana, among others. The list also contains posthumous recognitions for members of the military who were part of the June 12 democratic struggle, including a former National Security Advisor under the then-President Goodluck Jonathan administration, Colonel Sambo Dansuki, Major General M.A. Gabar, Brigadier General Lawal Jafaru Issa, Colonel Umar Farouk Ahmed, Colonel Lawan Gwadabe, Brigadier Jonathan Ndam Temlong, Colonel Musa Shehu, Major General Chris Eze, Major General Harris Nzama, Colonel Isai Jibrin, among others. The president, who said that the full honors list will be released in the coming days, described them as individuals who endured persecution, incarceration, exile, and various forms of hardship to secure Nigeria's democratic rule. The House of Representatives has passed the State Police Bill following a voting on the floor during the plenary session presided over by the Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas. According to Abbas, 288 lawmakers voted in support of the bill, while 4 were against it. A day after the lawmakers debated on the bill, the lawmakers voted on the bill by a show of hands, as the Speaker explained that the electronic voting system is not functional. The bill seeks to strengthen Nigeria's security architecture by creating an additional layer of policing while providing constitutional safeguards, clearly defined operational frameworks, oversight mechanisms, and delineation of powers between federal and state policing authorities. Earlier, the House of Representatives released the final print of the Constitution alteration bills, seeking to provide a constitutional framework for the establishment of state police, among others. The vote on state police comes amid rising insecurity in parts of the country. The bill has, meanwhile, scaled second reading in the Red Chamber, and the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, said the lawmakers will vote on the bill during the next sitting. The House of Representatives has reaffirmed its position that first-term lawmakers are not eligible to occupy principal offices in the Green Chamber. The resolution followed the adoption of a motion sponsored by Babajide Benson, coming 1 week after a rowdy session over the contest for the minority whip position vacated by Kingsley Chinda. Leading the debate, Benson drew the attention of lawmakers to Order 7 Rule 15 of the House Standing Orders, which limits eligibility for principal offices to members with legislative experience in the House of Representatives. He argued that parliamentary best practices reserve such leadership positions for experienced legislators in order to preserve institutional memory and strengthen the effectiveness of the legislature. However, Solomon Bob opposed the motion, maintaining that the provisions of the House rules are already clear and require no further interpretation.
This motion is totally redundant, so necessary. What it means is that we are amending our rules for you to be able to exercise that power. Henceforth, if any question comes here for interpretation, we have to first seek the House's resolution to ask you to interpret the contentious provision in our rule. You have that power. You are in the position of a judge, an arbiter. What you say about the rules is final.
Meanwhile, the House adopted a separate motion sponsored by Zachariah Yampa, calling on the Nigerian Army to discontinue the automatic merger of service years for officers commissioned through the Short Service Combatant Commission, Direct Short Service Commission, and Direct Regular Commission. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana says worsening insecurity and widespread abductions could pose serious threats to Nigeria's 2027 general elections if urgent action is not taken to address the situation. Falana gave the warning in Abuja at the annual June 12 Memorial Lecture organized by the National Human Rights Commission and the newly unveiled Professor Humphrey Wonsu Center for Democracy and Human Rights. Correspondent Chimeze Nzedima reports.
Femi Falana was the keynote speaker at the annual June 12 Memorial Lecture at the Yaradua Center, Abuja. He reflected on the role played by former electoral umpire Professor Humphrey Wonsu in conducting the June 12, 1993 election despite pressure by the military government. He then warned that growing insecurity, kidnappings and attacks across the country could make campaigning and voting difficult ahead of the next general elections. Falana also accused the Nigerian authorities of using the Cybercrime Act to suppress dissent and urged Nigerians to focus on governance, accountability and service delivery rather than ethnicity and religion during elections.
As illegal arrests and detention stop in Nigeria? No. No. So when we are celebrating Nwosu, we must go back to where we are coming from. Today in Nigeria, if you make any statement against a governor or the president or a big man, you are charged under the Cybercrime Act. So our right to free speech is already taken away. It will be difficult to even campaign very soon. So I am therefore urging Nigerians, when politicians come around, please don't talk about religion. Ask them, you have been there for 4 or 8 years. What have you done about electricity, about our state of our roads, about our hospitals that are consulting clinics or even mortuaries now?
The event also featured the unveiling of the Professor Humphrey Wonsu Center for Democracy and Human Rights. Executive Secretary of the National Human Rights Commission, Tony Ojukwu, said the center will promote civic education, electoral reforms, leadership development, and democratic engagement.
Professor Humphrey Wonsu Center for Democracy and Human Rights seeks to deepen democratic culture through civic education, electoral reform, advocacy, research, leadership, development, youth engagement, and the promotion of ethical governance. The Center's vision strongly complements the mandate of the Commission, and this partnership provides a valuable platform for sustained national engagement on democratic consolidation and human rights advancement.
While speaking on behalf of Wonsu family, Engineer Nnemeka Humphrey Wonsu, son of the late professor, said the institution was established to advance democracy, protect human rights, and promote credible elections across Nigeria and Africa.
We envision a Nigeria and an Africa where democracy thrives. Human rights are protected, elections are credible, leaders serve with integrity. The center will be guided by 5 fundamental pillars. First, electoral integrity and reform, because democracy begins with trust in the ballot.
Former Supreme Court Justice Abdul Abuki noted that electoral integrity remains a human rights issue and called for stronger institutions to safeguard the people's mandate.
electoral integrity is not merely a technical issue. It is a human rights issue. It is about the right of every citizen to choose their leaders freely without fear or manipulation or disenfranchisement. It is about strengthening institutions, enforcing rule of law, and building a public trust. It is about ensuring that democracy is not reduced to a ritual, but remains a living, breathing system that protects dignity and advances justice.
Senator Adeniyi Adebomire, who represented the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, described Professor Humphrey Nwosu as a symbol of integrity whose actions during the June 12 election helped shape Nigeria's democratic journey.
The true significance of June 12 extends beyond the conduct of the election itself. The annulment of that election by the military plunged Nigeria into a prolonged period of political uncertainty and national agitation. What followed was a remarkable struggle by Nigerians from all walks of life who insisted that democracy, justice, and sovereign will of the people must ultimately prevail. In that sense, June 12 became more than an election. It became a movement. It became a national referendum on freedom, accountability, and democratic legitimacy.
Advocates of the electoral integrity and justice at the event agreed that preserving the legacy of Professor Humphrey Nwosu requires stronger institutions, accountable leadership, and credible elections capable of reflecting the true will of Nigerians. In Abuja, Chimeze Zadima reporting for Signature Television.
Maternal mortality remains a major public health concern in Nigeria, accounting for thousands of preventable deaths every year. It is this concern that brought together nursing professionals, academics, and stakeholders in the health sector in ENUGU to profile pathways to safer motherhood and stronger healthcare systems. Our correspondent reports. Stakeholders from the health sector, academia, traditional rulers, and the nursing profession converge on the College of Medicine, University of Nigeria, Ituku-Ozala, for the maiden Emeritus Professor C.B. Okafor annual nursing lecture series. The event not only celebrated the remarkable contributions of Emeritus Professor C.B. Okafor to nursing education and professional development, but also provided a platform for critical conversations on Nigeria's troubling maternal mortality statistics. Chairman of the occasion and former Vice-Chancellor of the University of Nigeria, Emeritus Professor Benjamin Ozumba, described Professor Okafor as a pioneer whose commitment to excellence, mentorship, and capacity building has left an enduring mark on the nursing profession. At the heart of the gathering was a keynote lecture delivered by the Dean, Faculty of Nursing, University of Ibadan, Professor Priska Adejumo. Speaking on the theme, Understanding the Persistence of Maternal Mortality in Nigeria, Evidence from Past Interventions and Future Strategies, Adejumo highlighted the alarming global and regional realities of maternal deaths. According to her, nearly 287,000 women die annually from pregnancy and childbirth-related complications worldwide, with sub-Saharan Africa accounting for the overwhelming majority of cases, with Nigeria being one of the countries most affected. Professor Adejumo stressed the need for greater investment in healthcare technologies, improved access to quality maternal services, and stronger health systems capable of preventing avoidable deaths.
Nigeria faces one of the highest maternal mortality rates, and maybe it's not resonating with us yet. If you just take a look at our communities, our environment, wherever we are, and try to cast our mind back from January this year to now, if you have ever heard about any person, any young lady, any young woman, any married woman, any person who died as a result of any pregnancy-related death, the consequences extend far beyond that woman and immediate family. After death, it disrupts households, it affects child survival, it increases poverty, and it undermines national development.
Chairman of the local organizing committee, Professor Ijeoma Okoronko, who was represented by Dr. Ifeoma Ndubisi, described the lecture series as both timely and necessary. noting that maternal health remains a key indicator of development in any society.
This annual lecture series will continue to serve as a testament of her legacy to the college in general and the department in particular. It is designed to be a beacon for academic discourse, a catalyst for ongoing clinical improvement, and a platform where we can critically examine the future of nursing and healthcare.
Head of the Department of Nursing Sciences, University of Nigeria, ENUGU campus, Dr. Peace Ehanacho, expressed gratitude to Emeritus Professor Okafo for her unwavering support and contributions towards the advancement of nursing education in Nigeria.
Today is the beginning of the new history that you are marking in the Department of Nursing and in the College of Nursing.
Colleagues, former students, and family members paid glowing tribute to the nursing icon, describing her as a distinguished scholar, mentor, and administrator whose influence continues to shape healthcare practice across generations.
The woman is just exceptional. She knows how to support, how to groom, how to give value to whatever that is planted, upcoming, I'm glad that today this first in the lecture series has taken place.
And everybody has to join hands in making this thing possible. And that's I want to call on all men to please see that woman around you as that special breed God has created to bless the world, and do everything to protect the woman before pregnancy, during pregnancy, after childbirth, and going forward.
My mom has worked hard throughout her life, from the day she was born till today. She's still working hard. She's a very smart woman, very intuitive, and very, very generous and loving to everybody. She's our mother, but in our house, then growing up in the campus, everybody used to come to our house because it was always so welcoming. She made a mandate of bringing everybody in, whoever you are. She will bring you in and she will advise you. She was a mother to so many other people apart from us.
The event also featured awards and recognitions for outstanding contributions to education and healthcare, including honors for the faculty's best lecturer and the overall best graduating students in the nursing sciences.
I'm really so grateful. I feel deeply honored to be given this certificate, and I'm really grateful to God. I'm also grateful to the entire Faculty of Health Sciences, precisely Department of Nursing Sciences. Without the guidance of my lecturers, I wouldn't be here today. So I'm deeply thankful. And regardless of how exhausted I feel and the self-doubt, I'm glad that I'm here today. And this dream is currently a reality.
I'm happy and most grateful to God. For God has proved to be the Jehovah Jireh in my life. At every point in time, He provides for me. Having this urge in you that I will succeed, I want to succeed, and that has been a propeller for me. Besides all, I have a wonderful family, supportive husband, and children who are helping me to see that I excel.
The consensus from the gathering is that ending maternal deaths beyond policy declarations requires deliberate investment, skilled healthcare personnel, and access to facilities essential for protecting the lives of mothers across Nigeria. In ENUGU, Christopher Lele, Signature TV News. The Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs has announced that 4 further repatriation flights are anticipated to return Nigerians who have indicated a desire to depart South Africa due to recent xenophobic violence. The spokesperson of the ministry, Kemiebe Bienfa, disclosed the plan after the first group of 258 Nigerians arrived at Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos on Thursday morning. He said that the screening exercise for Nigerian citizens in South Africa began last Thursday and scheduled to conclude on Saturday has been extended to Sunday, with over 1,000 Nigerians already taking part in the screening exercise. Ibiafa told journalists that the exercise has given more Nigerians the opportunity to be screened so that they will take advantage of this flight that Mr. President has graciously paid for to convey them back home. He added that the returnees would be temporarily housed in a facility hosted by the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons for documentation before being reunited with their families in various states. Still to come, Congo's Ebola outbreak spreads to new health zones. Burna Boy Shakira thrilled spectators in World Cup opening ceremony. Stay with us.
We are local.
The international community is observing
Just finished taking why the main market is in chaos. People
We are national.
Those in support of this motion as amended, say aye. Aye.
we have taken the vote by default.
We are international.
Israel airstrikes.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.
Congo's Ebola outbreak has spread to 3 new health zones with the number of confirmed cases increasing to 676, including 136 deaths. The health minister said in a post on X that the latest figure released by the government represented the total number of confirmed cases of Wednesday. The new health zones impacted by the outbreak were in North Kivu and Ituri. A health zone in Congo's healthcare system covers a defined area with a network of clinics and a referral hospital covering around 100,000 to 150,000 people. There are over 500 health zones in the country. A South Korean court sentenced former President Yoon Suk-yeol to 30 years in prison on Friday for charges linked to his ordering an incursion of military drones over North Korea to help create a pretext for his failed December 2024 martial law declaration. The Seoul Central District Court found Yoon guilty of aiding the enemy and abuse of power, saying he had conspired in the October 2024 drone incursion over Pyongyang from the outset. The ruling adds that a series of judgments against the ousted conservative leader, once South Korea's top prosecutor, whose martial law order plunged the country's economy into its deepest political turmoil in decades. His lawyers said he neither ordered nor later approved the operation, which they said was unrelated to martial law and instead a response to months of North Korean launches across the border of balloons stuffed with rubbish. In February, a South Korean court sentenced Yoon to life in prison after finding him guilty of leading an insurrection link to the martial law attempt. The former president, who has appealed the earlier rulings against him, is already in custody and can appeal Friday's lower court ruling. China's foreign ministry on Friday confirmed the arrest of Minister Zhang, a U.S. citizen who leads a think tank focused on Miami, saying the American was suspected of spying and endangering Chinese national security. A foreign ministry spokesperson, Lin Yang, told a regular news conference that Minister Zhang has been placed under criminal detention by the relevant authorities in accordance with the law on suspicion of engaging in espionage and endangering China's national security. China has notified the U.S. Consulate General in the southern Chinese city of Guangzhou of the arrest. Minister Zhang, Executive Director of the Institute for Strategy and Policy, Myanmar, was detained after he flew into Kunming in southwest China. The detention comes as the U.S. and China are working to steady their frayed bilateral relationship following U.S. President Donald Trump's visit to Beijing last month. A former student activist who participated in Myanmar's 1988 democracy movement, Min Zhang, studied political science at the University of California, Berkeley, and helped establish the ISP, which was initially based inside Myanmar but moved overseas following the 2021 coup, when the military ousted the democratically elected government of Nobel Peace Prize winner Aung San Suu Kyi. U.S. President Donald Trump said he was calling off strikes on Iran and flagged the signing of a possible deal with Tehran after top-level talks. Trump said on his Truth Social network that based on the fact that discussions with the Islamic Republic of Iran have been brought to the highest level of Iranian leadership and approved, he has cancelled the scheduled strikes and bombings against Iran. Iran had warned Washington that it risks wading into an endless quagmire of war and soaring energy prices after Trump vowed to launch a new round of airstrikes and to seize an island oil terminal. Iran's chief negotiator in talks with Americans, Parliamentary Speaker Mohammad Bagher, issued his stark warning after the two sides exchanged overnight fire, and Trump threatened that U.S. forces would hit very hard. The war, which began on February 28 with a wave of U.S.-Israeli strikes on Iran, was paused under an April truce, but efforts to hammer out a permanent end to the fighting have since stalled. The conflict has destabilized oil and gas prices, fueling inflation and fears of recession in many economies, with the World Bank lowering its global growth forecast to its lowest level since the coronavirus pandemic, predicting it would drop to 2.5% in 2026 from 2.9% last year. Mexico has kicked off its 2026 FIFA World Cup campaign with a convincing 2-0 victory over South Africa in the tournament's opening match at the Estadio Azteca. Julian Guanes gave the host an early lead in the 9th minute, putting Mexico in control from the start. South Africa's task became even tougher after a red card earlier in the second half reduced them to 10 men. Raul Jimenez then doubled Mexico's advantage in the 67th minute with a well-taken header. South Africa later had another player sent off, finishing the match with just 9 men. The win puts Mexico at the top of Group A and gives the hosts a strong start to their World Cup journey. Afrobeat star Burna Boy and singer Shakira had the spectators out of their seats in the opening ceremony for the 2026 World Cup in the Estadio Azteca, ahead of the opening match between co-hosts Mexico and South Africa. The 48-team tournament is also being hosted by the United States and Canada and will feature 104 games culminating in the final in New Jersey on July 19. Dancers twirled around a giant model of the World Cup trophy, while fireworks went off in the historic 80,000 capacity stadium, which hosted the 1970 and 1986 World Cup finals and has been renovated for this year's tournament. While there was a festive atmosphere inside the stadium, there were chaotic signs in the center of Mexico City, where thousands of fans pushed and shoved as they attempted to enter the official World Cup fan zone shortly before the kickoff. Access to the fan zone in Zocalo Plaza was hampered by metal barriers erected in recent days to prevent protesting teachers reaching the area. Some fans threw water bottles and hurled insults at police, as well as chanting in support of the Mexican team. The local government announced on social media that the site was full and suggested fans to go other plazas. That's the news. I am Christopher Lele. Thanks for watching.
In your pocket.
Tired of the snow? Tired of the bad TV signals? Nigeria has gone digital. Introducing Free TV, the national platform for every Nigerian. Get 100 plus channels immediately. Sports, news, and entertainment in your native language with clear picture quality. Whether you're in the city or the village, our satellite signal reaches every corner of 36 states from day one. No monthly subscription, just a compatible decoder and you are set. It's a national asset built for you. Take the show on the road, download the Free TV app and stream your favorite channels anywhere. Starting this May, scan to download the app or call 0700 388 7277. Free TV, digital TV for free. Brought to you by NBC.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking, events occur, and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your pocket.
Get plugged into the heartbeat of entertainment on The Hub, your ultimate show on eVibes. From trending stories and social media drama to top charting music, must-watch movies and exciting moments from the world of arts, we've got it all. Join us for unmissable conversations with your favorite entertainment personalities, plus fun segments every week.
So I should try harder, so...
Okay, I don't know that one.
Outfit of the day.
Oh, I don't do that. That's some Gen Z stuff.
Oh, now you say it's a Gen Z stuff.
It's everything you love about entertainment, served fresh every week at 1 p.m. with weekend repeats just in case you missed it. The Hub's on eVibes, where the vibes never stop. Only on Signature TV.
Nigeria are not practicing true democracy. Why? Number one, why is democracy? It's the government of the people, by the people, for the people. But the people are not seeing what the government are doing. The government is just deceiving people. There is no true democracy. So to me, democracy is not, this celebration is not even worthy to be celebrated. because things are getting worse and worse and worse. Instead of us to achieve, we are going down.
Since you said we are practicing democracy in Nigeria, now look at the situation that we as a country we are passing through now. Come to security. Some days back, we were hearing of killings in Benue and Plateau. And you said you are practicing democracy, and up to now you have no plan for you to address all these issues that is happening on the Plateau and Benue. You can't say that is democracy. So seriously, to me, I don't think we are practicing democracy here in Nigeria.
In my own way of understanding, we are not practicing democracy. We are not at all. Because what is happening is not in line with what we expect should happen in this country. After that June 12th election, being a successful election, but just that you know what happened. Presently, what happened is that these days we are not doing that same way we expect. What happened today is that the more you have powers and the more you are influential, that is the more you win election in Nigeria. Or you know how to manipulate, that is how you win election in Nigeria.
To be sincere, democracy is not seen in the country practically, because people elected them, but I don't think from the legislative to executive are going by the wish or will of the voters or the citizens. If you compare Nigerian democracy with some other nations like South Africa, you can see a very clear difference.
The democracy we are practicing, we will not get there in one day. Gradually, we are moving forward. Democracy, no matter how, is better than military regime. So, I supported democracy, and the practicing may not be perfect now, but we get there.
Nigeria's democracy is still going through a thickening problem. Honestly, I've been looking for an opportunity to air my view as far as this issue of democracy is concerned. It's a big shame. Despite where many countries who are democratic, they don't. This is not democracy in practice. This is not democracy in practice, it's just on paper. But I believe that with time, there is hope. There is hope, but just that we are not really where we got democracy from. This is not how it is done. We celebrate so-called criminals. You see criminals walking on the street. Is it democracy? They recycle them. Well, there is hope.
We are local.
The international community is observing every
Just finish the Right, the main market is in chaos. People are...
We are national.
Those in support of this